Hello, hello, hello. This is Forza Drift Events Season 5, Round 4 in Finland, the hometown of the founder, Shreddit, in his hometown track, Power Park. Today is gonna be a great round simply because we've been away for a few months now. Some echo on your mic. Uh-oh. Not sure what's going on there, but I'll try to see if I can get that worked out. But apologies for the mic issues. Looks like we're good. Anyways, it's been a long time. Hope you guys all had a great holiday season and a happy new year. We are back with some Forza Drift event action. Today, of course, qualifying round for Power Park. We have, I think, a full convoy ready to go. But before we get into the action, let's go ahead and have a quick chat with Addict Actual about what the track has in store for our drivers today.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Super excited to be back here for qualifying again. So,
Yes,
this first corner, that's a high-speed, big first corner.
Yep.
Requires tons of commitment, and then all throughout if you don't get it just perfect, just right, hold that angle, hold that line, hold that speed,
Big
it'll set you up wrong. Oh yeah, it'll set you up wrong for that. You gotta watch the wall, man. Don't get the walls.
Yep, you're gonna crawl back in for inside clip 1 as well. Just a little bit shallow there into a transition into outer zone 3. Not quite as long as outer zone 2, but then I believe we have another transition into OZ4 here. I believe 2 more zones outside zone 5, kind of just setting you up for the long haul through this corner, staying close to the wall. You can see the distance, the proximity there is really tight. A small little outer zone here before the finished at the end of the judged section. We do have keys to victory written by our judges and our event coordinator, Shreddit. Smooth entry. A good run always begins with a smooth entry. Keeping your angle up and consistent. That's going to be the key. Consistent, especially today with qualifying. You kind of just have to put your head down and make sure you finish the track cleanly. You don't got to go for a 99. You just got to hit that kind of that common sweet spot of like a low 80s. Usually you can find your way into the top 32 if you're just hitting that mark. But especially tomorrow when we have those head-to-head battles with the top 32 bracket, you're going to be paying close attention because this is a long outer zone 2 section, and people are going to need to manage their speed appropriately. Of course, the lead driver is going to be looking to set themselves up cleanly to get away from their chase driver in that situation. But moving on through the rest of the track, transition into OZ3 with great momentum. There are, other than the initial initiation zone, there are no deceleration zones on this track. If you remember back in months ago now at Laguna Beach, Long Beach, you had several deceleration zones in that tight track that are kind of messing with people. We're going to see kind of a different mode of driving here, a little bit less deceleration throughout the rest of the track, so it's going to be very momentum based, making sure you keep up that momentum for the rest of the track. Holding angle is going to be a common theme. Wide transition into OZ4. Slowing down with angle, another reference to there are no deceleration zones. So when you get into a tighter angle, you're going to have to do your speed management with a little bit of left foot braking and a little bit of a higher angle. Higher angle, less speed, less momentum. And of course, snappy transitions and close proximity always. Don't hit the wall. Read Chicken on YouTube saying hit the wall. Don't hit the wall. That's what he does. Right. It's a little bit of mind games there. One of our competitors, potential competitors, previous competitors, giving some ill advice. But that's all right. We're going to go ahead and get back to the track. Again, this is Finland Power Park round 4 of season 5 here with Forza Drift events. Let's make sure we have everything ready to go here. We have first up, the current driver is going to be Lancaster. Can't say that I recognize the name. Of course, FDE is a tight community, so we have lots of veteran drivers, but from time to time we get some new drivers. Great to see him, great to have him. Lancaster in the 240, ready to go through Power Park. Great proximity to that wall right there. Great transition, looking confident, looking smooth. Looking great through the finish section, and there is our first finished qualifying run from Lancaster here in round 4.
Very solid.
Yeah, he was confident and in control that whole time. It was very good. I gotta find my way back to the starting point. While our judges throw a score for Lancaster, style judge coming in already with a 29 out of a potential 33 points. 30 for the line. Already setting a high standard. A name I did not recognize, but perhaps we all know now. This could potentially be the first 90 on the first run, and it's just 1 point shy with an 89 total for Lancaster. Very well done. Happily into the 80s, almost hitting that 90s club mark, but Train's gonna be happy with that score nonetheless.
Yeah, that was definitely a very good way to start off qualifying.
Absolutely. Other drivers sure to take note of that sweet run, especially the line. I feel like the line, you can get shallow or too wide on certain points, and of course, if you're looking at the drivers meeting, you have insight into exactly what the judges are looking for. However, we have another driver on the line, Boosted 87, Boosted E87 on the line with the Audi RS5. Looks like we're gonna see what they can do here in Power Park with 4 horns. We're all a little rusty. The winter break sometimes does that to you. What can I say? A little bit of contact early on in the zone, a little bit more contact late into the zone, but not too much coverage there on the first inner clip. A little bit more contact there. Not giving up, though. I love to see this. Committing to the drift. You, of course, do have 2 chances to get through the track. If he wants, he could always strategically DNF. So this is something our drivers, newer drivers, may not be aware of. But if you end up getting a run that just does not feel right, maybe you're making too much contact with the wall, you can always DNF yourself. Go read the rule books, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, if you're competing, you're going to want to make sure you catch all the details. But if it's not, first of all, if it's not a chaseable run, we're going to see a DNF anyways. First and foremost, it is make sure you go through the track in a way that allows a chase driver, hypothetically, and of course in the future, to actually follow you. If you're going wild through the track, it's unchaseable. It's going to be a DNF, unfortunately, for Boosted E87. But again, there's another chance, whether it is on accident or on purpose. If you are using a little bit of a DNF strategy, there's a second chance. So no worries. We'll have Boosted back on the line for a second chance later on. It is a very familiar name in the community. It is Crazy Yoda with Casual Crew. Wouldn't be surprised if we have another chance for a 90 here.
Oh, I know he's been putting in the practice laps.
Oh yeah. Crazy Yoda always comes prepared, that's for sure. Woo! Love a good entry into there. You can see that proximity, full coverage of that inner clip, commitment. Just so clean. Oh, it's clean. So much angle as well. Coming down a little bit with that tight initiation.
Yeah.
Looks like that's going to be a strategic DNF.
He can do better, and he knows he can.
I mean, I was seeing 90s in my head all day through that run. But hey, if for some reason Crazy Yoda wants to try to hit a perfect score, he can do so. But I will say we've seen tragedies strike before where drivers try to do a strategic DNF. They get into the make or break situation and they make most often an uncharacteristic mistake. Things that you would not expect to happen in those kinds of situations. Of course, we're in the virtual world, so we don't have to worry about a pop tire or anything like that or a loose bolt, but things happen.
There are still technical difficulties.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A little bit of a preview there. We have Infa Faded, another familiar name. Welcome back from the long hiatus there after round 3. But back, Infa Faded on the track in a beautiful Mark V in Power Park. Behemoth of a camera car, and there is the first oversteer. Now, before we started the stream today, the show today, I was talking with Addict Actual. I said the oversteer in OZ2 is going to be real. That's the first one we've seen. I'm interested in seeing that's going to be a common error, as it is going to be right after an initiation, and it's a long haul.
Yeah, that just looked like he come in a little too hot and tried to angle up so he didn't get the wall and
couldn't get the
just
grip he
couldn't hold
needed.
it. Yep, just couldn't hold it.
Back on the line once again. We're not even going to go to the judge section. We all know that's a DNF. Back on the line, it is IX Baz. I believe the 2-time two-time silver finalist from this season, back-to-back in round 2 and 3, getting a silver final placement for both of those rounds. Definitely a power to contend with here in IX Baz, representing, of course, his team Casual Crew. Now, his initiations are always so kind of elegant, in my opinion. You see these drivers.
Have a handbrake.
Right. What was that? He does or doesn't?
No, I don't think he does.
Right.
He at least didn't for the longest time. That's why he does that.
He completely relies on the speed, momentum, and his angle, his car's weight transfer to get into his initiations. It really is beautiful to watch. Very difficult to do, especially when you're on a wheel. But casually going through the track, Baz with what we could have predicted would be a great run. I would say Crazy Yoda's might have looked even better. I'm still confused as why he went for a DNF there at the end, but hey, Crazy Yoda has some crazy standards, I suppose. A 31 for style. Smooth as usual, Unk, smooth as usual. Exactly. We have a 30 for the line. This could be our first 90s run of the day, and it is. A CCX Baz with a 30, 30, 31, a total of 91 here in Season 5, Round 4 of FDE. Just another walk in the park for one of the most talented drifters in the game, for sure. Back to the track. We have Karma Mark IV, another veteran face in the community, veteran driver, looking like he's made some changes to his build here, just visually. I'm gonna assume that might match some changes to his tune as well. Let's see what he can do on Power Park. Practice the method of rolling starts with this behemoth camera car. They're getting away from me here in the beginning. A little bit of contact there. Rear fender coming off, but clearly covered the inner clip. A little bit of a late entry into OZ3.
There goes the wing.
The wing's gone. Bumpers and debris all over the track. Looking smooth through the finish, though. Not bad at all.
He did drop a tire in OZ Flaws.
He dipped a little bit of a tire there.
Yeah, the rumble strip's considered a tire drop there, and he was in the...
Those are all details you gotta find in the track showcase, and also in the drivers meeting. There's always a 30-minute drivers meetings before each round. These are kind of details. These are the details that a lot of people who don't compete might not know all too much about, but there are differences in rumble packs in different sections, what's fair game and what is a dead zone. But Karma, I think, just being the driver that he is, casually finds himself a 28-29 for line and style. A lot of these drivers know that all they need is to get into that sweet spot in the 80s. A high 70 score sometimes will do you, but an 85 is right in the pocket, exactly where Karma, I'm sure, wanted to be. Of course, the more the merrier, but 85 is a solid score. Most likely going to find him in tomorrow's top 32. Up next, we have Elfe. Elfe, a teamless driver this time around. We can absolutely get that top 10 on the screen for y'all. Current scores are there on your screen. Looks like Shreddit might actually be working on that, so we'll have a live update for you on your screen. But we have Elfe on the line, ready to go. A pure silver livery for what would otherwise be a team livery. It's interesting to see Elfe without a team. Anyways, I don't know why I'm commenting on that so much. Elfe Power Park. Here we go. Great entry, very smooth, confident with where he wants to go with the car here. Consistent angle, not much correction going on. A big angle there before that transition. I thought we were going to see a little bit of oversteer action there, but an unfortunate mistake. This could be time for a strategic DNF, and that is exactly what we see. Elfe knows the rules. He knows all those little details from competing for several seasons now. You saw him miss that outer zone 5, I believe that was. So he's going to be going for a little bit of a strategic DNF. You guys can go ahead and enjoy this beautiful overview of the
road to the start.
Yeah, the track we're on right now.
Hey, there's a wall there. You can't park there.
Oh, God. I can't park. Oh, Lord. I need assistance. Okay, no, I don't.
Oh, never.
We're good. All right. A little bit of issues kind of coming back to the starting line, but we're here. All right. Mello on the line.
Me call me Mellow Yellow.
Ooh, not a lot of grip. I like that. It keeps it close with the camera car here. Hopefully you can keep in control. A little bit shallow on the end there. A little bit of an awkward line, but not giving up. Finding his way back in to the corner for inner clip 1. Here we have a little bit of a late transition. You got bumper coverage there. Going into the last part of the track, not a bad run at all. Wouldn't be disappointed to see this finish, and it does go through the judged section. You saw a little bit of an awkward line. I'm not sure if it started in the initiation or just halfway through OZ2. A little bit of speed change can throw you off your optimal line. But you definitely saw that suffer his coverage of the inner clip, and then outer zone 4. Line judge with a 26, style judge with a 25. Waiting on that angle judge to throw in their hat. But again, it depends on a lot of things. It depends on the track. It depends on the day sometimes, and certainly how many drivers we have, where that sweet spot score lands. I believe we've had scores as low as 76 or 77. See it right here. Total of 76 for Mello. We've seen scores like this make it into the top 32. It's just right on the cusp. Sometimes it gets into that 80s mark, and it gets pretty difficult to make it into the top 32. But we'll see. Our our top 32 bracket will be updated as we continue throughout the day. We are still in our first convoy with Prez JFK Sr. Great to have you back. Same car, looks like, and ready to go through Power Park. And you see now we have our top 10 scores on the top of your screen for you, with only one 90s Club score so far. Yeah, ooh, there's that oversteer I was dreading. I feel like we're not going to see the end of the OZ2 oversteers. Of course, it is the qualifying day, so we have We have a second chance for our drivers today, but a little bit of an issue with speed management, or perhaps a little bit too much sauce on the entry.
Late initiation.
Yeah, late initiation.
That's what it was.
Can be tough here.
Yeah, he initiated literally right at the line, and
Right.
it threw him too far out.
Yeah, not enough time to get the grip you need to
No,
turn
he didn't have the
yourself
forward momentum.
into your corner. Yeah. Back on the track, we'll of course see the DNF drivers again at the end of this convoy. Right now we have Crewx ready to set their score. I believe Crewx is a top 32, maybe top 16 driver from round 3. Looking set through OZ2, and you see there's another oversteer. Okay, this might be a little bit of Caster's curse here. That's the third oversteer through OZ2. Hopefully I'm not getting in anyone's head, but I'm telling you, I saw it coming.
It looked so good. He knocked the wing off. It looked
He
great.
looked great.
And then
Yeah, his initiation was great. He got into the zone beautifully, but the continuous angle correction, the continuous turn in through that long corner is going to cause people issues. It's going to take some skill with left foot braking, or perhaps just momentum management, speed management. But all is not lost. We do have our first DNF driver back on the line. This is a do or die situation. It's time to put up the score, or your round is over. It's boosted E87 up first. A little bit too much to the outside there. I have a lot of contact. 3 hits going for that inside clip. He does manage to hit the clip with a little bit more contact through OZ3. A little bit of a late transition. Looks like he's struggling to lose grip with this car and actually get into angle and maintain that angle. An unfortunate amount of wall bangs. I think it's going to need to revisit the test track with that one. It looked like the car was limiting the skill of the driver in some way. Just a little bit too grippy, perhaps not enough seat time to get prepared for the event, but a solid attempt. Obviously knew the line, he knew what he had to do, but just battling the car throughout the entire track. Unfortunately, a double DNF for boosted. Hopefully we'll see him back in round 5. Yeah.
Yep, that is unfortunate. You never want to see that.
Oh, it happens. It happens even to some of the top drivers. Everyone has
it
those
does.
days. Yep. All right. Up next, Crazy Yoda, a driver who DNF'd at the last moment and yet could have finished. Probably would have gotten a 90 score. Crazy Yoda is on one today. Let's see what he has for us here in a do or die situation. I know my nerves would be a little bit cooked, but then again, I have not gone through this course a single time myself. Oh my God, the angle he's going for right now is he's trying to set a statement here in the qualifying session. That has to be 70 to 80. Ooh, this transition was scary looking. He was getting really, really deep into the angle there. I don't even know what to say. I was on the edge of my seat that whole time expecting an oversteer, and somehow Crazy Yoda manages to stick it through. Holy cow. Incredible angle, incredible line. The transitions were snappy but kind of scary with how quick they were. The amount of angle that Yoda was settling into after his transitions, beautifully done. You can see the comfortability, you can see the seat time, you can see the proper tuning, all of the preparation that went into that run. And the judges see it too, a 31-31 for Crazy Yoda. I don't think it's going to be in the 80s. That would have to be a 28 for Angle, and Angle, I think, was the strongest suit of that run. Perhaps a little bit of a late entry or early exit out of different zones. I can't really recall. Maybe OZ2.
OZ1, OZ1, he was a little late getting into it.
Okay.
And then he filled it after that, and then I think one of the other ones he left just a little early.
Yeah. I remember OZ3, he kind of got into it a little bit late. But of course, I don't have YouTube on the ready to review all that. Obviously, Judge 2 taking their time, making sure they have the right score here. Of course, this score has the potential for the #1 spot of the day, with Baz, CCX Baz, sitting happily with a 91 at the top right now. 32 for Angle, a total score, Crazy Yoda, of 94 points out of a total potential 99 points. Doesn't get much better than that. Crazy Yoda with an incredible qualifying here in round 4. Love to see it. New bar for all the other drivers to take notes from.
I told you he put in the practice laps in the off season.
There it is. That's it pays dividends. Infa faded now with his DNF'd run initially not going his way. We're gonna see what he can do here in his second go around. Big E-brake into the zone. See if he can find a little bit more angle. No! See, that's what I'm saying. It's difficult with the entry. It's difficult with the entry because if you come in just the smallest hair too sharp and you have to correct more than you should be, you're gonna get that oversteer situation going on. It has claimed a life already, and here's the second. The OZ2 death count is at a 2 for 10. Unfortunate DNF for Infafaded. But I don't doubt we'll see him coming back in stride with round 5. Up next, Elfe. We'll wander our way back through, get to Elfe on the track, and make sure we got here we go. All right, Elfe, do or die. Super deep into that corner. A lot of angle. Great coverage of OZ3, OZ4. Hitting almost to the outside line there. And great coverage, great smooth, great control from Elfe on his second run. I believe we have one more driver after that for the rest of the convoy. Definitely a longer track. 32 for style. Judge 3 really loving that run from Elfe. Probably just how in control, how consistently Elfe was able to handle the angle that he put up in the start of the zone. Just maintaining that angle with minimum correction or overcorrection. Fantastic run. Judge 1 with a line score of 29, an angle score of 31 for a total of 92, finding his way into the 90s club, just below Crazy Yoda. And between Baz and Crazy Yoda there, a fantastic score. More than enough for that top 32 run tomorrow. Going to be looking up probably one of the top 5 seeds there. We have now JFK back on the line, ready to go through Power Park. Solid for the end of OZ2, coming back to toe tap that outer clip. A little bit of a shallow line into OZ3, but not too bad at all. Looking for the long haul through the last corner and to the end of the judge zone. Fantastic run. Very solid looking run. Great initiation. Looked like he was completely in control the whole time. Perhaps struggling just a little bit with angle. But maybe I'm just being spoiled by the angle that Crazy Yoda and Elfe were able to bring to the table. And Baz, for that matter. Now, really, all you got to do with a 28 and a 29, we're looking at that sweet spot, that high 70s, low 80s numbers that these drivers should be striving towards to make them their way into the top 32 out of the crowd. And an 86, very happy, going to be very happy with that score. 86 is solid. Well done, JFK Sr. I believe that is one more driver left for us to get through. It is Crewx in his second chance here in Power Park. Settled in. Don't cook it. Don't cook it. There we go. Into the inner clip. A little bit of a late transition there, but still looking good. Tire dip onto the track and another late transition. Oh man, I saw that coming right after that OZ3 section. That transition into OZ4 was a little bit late. You got to transition earlier to get a shallower curve through. Unfortunately, not in OZ2, but another double DNF for a driver here today. This track is no joke. It's a lot longer, and these long curves are definitely a recipe for some oversteer. These have, what is it, 1, 2, 3 transitions on the track as well, so your line matters a lot. Unfortunately, 3 DNFs so far, but we have a plethora of drivers coming up next. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. Sorry about that crash. Unfortunate that we had the mid-commercial crash there. Apologies. It has to do with my graphics card, unfortunately, but we are back. Round 4 of Season 5 Forza Drift events. We're here at Power Park. We are moving into our second convoy, currently loading into the map as we speak. I'm sure if I clicked on the screen and all heard the background sound, you would know exactly what's going on. But so far, 3 double DNFs. Power Park, or perhaps the long winter break, putting our drivers in some pretty difficult positions here in Power Park. The initiation's always going to be difficult with the initiation going into such a long corner. You see some drivers putting up a good initiation, but just a little bit too late or too early. It's just off with the line by a hair, and it can really cause you some oversteering issues into OZ2 as the corners are nice and long. And I'm a child, and we're making our way to the track right now. You hear all the cars in the background. Let's take it to the track and you guys can see exactly the maze of concrete we have to get through to get to the start of the track. It's actually not too bad, and all of these tracks are made with love by our amazing staff at FDE, who have recreated countless tracks at this point that the whole community can enjoy. Of course, if you want to find out more information about the tracks and the future tracks of this season, previous tracks from previous seasons, check out ForzaDriftEvents.com. But here we are. Unfortunately, my crash means that we have some issues with the heads-up display. There we go. It is not Tro XD. We do have another driver on the line. I'll go ahead and wait for that to be updated just so we make sure.
You need to share your screen for me in Discord.
That's right. Looks like it's going to be Awesome Pie. Awesome Pie. Not too familiar with the name, but welcome into FDE. Go ahead and share my screen to my co-host on the desk here. There we go. That should work for you.
Thank you.
Now everything is ready and set to go. Awesome Pie through Power Park. Here we go.
That car looks so wild.
It's very wide. Almost gives me like a Catfish Camaro vibe. A little bit for some reason.
A little bit, yeah. The fenders bubbling like that.
Yeah. There you go. A little bit of a late entry into OZ2, but smooth through the rest of it. Great coverage of the inner clip. Another little bit of a late transition here. Hopefully he has enough grip to get to the other side of the track, and he does. Makes for a little bit of an awkward transition into the last long haul through the finished section. Not too shabby at all, though. But you can see the transition timing as important as ever. But Awesome Pie with a happy score. .28 for style, not too bad at all. 28 for line, could find himself in that sweet spot of low to mid 80s. Angle score coming up last. I'm sure Awesome Pie is already happy with that. Whether it's a 26 or 28 at this point, should be, yep, there we go. It would have been 80, 81, 83. This is definitely all scores within that sweet spot. Total for 83 with Awesome Pie. Well done. Up next, we got It's Not Black Viper, not to be confused with Black Viper, who may or may not be competing in this session. We'll see. But right now, It's Not Black Viper on the track. Really solid through OZ2. Great timing on that transition there. Still finding 2 tires off. That might have been 3. I am not sure if it was. We're going to keep chasing through here, and it looks like Not Black Viper is going to finish that run. Hopefully we have a good enough angle there with the camera car to show our judges whether that was a 3-tire off DNF or just a 2-tire drop.
Can you add your current scores back to the top, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Looks like it was a 2-tire drop, so not DNF'd. It's a scoreable run. Probably going to be getting a little bit of a bump down from the line judge, but 27 for style, not too shabby so far. .25 from the line judge. Dead Riser. I don't think Dead Riser has been through the track yet there. Of course, thank you guys and gals for joining on youtube.com/Forza Drift Events. Total of 78 for It's Not Black Viper. Definitely on the cusp there. Could potentially see that cutoff point at 78 points for tomorrow's top 32. Moving on, we have James Nealio on the line, of course, representing CCX.
I'm excited to see this one.
Yeah. Attic Actual on the panel knows James, knows what he's done in previous rounds. A podium competitor here in FDE, and a
very smooth wheel driver.
Very smooth wheel driver. So, expecting good things here. You might see him even go for a strategic DNF if his run just doesn't quite meet his own standards. You see the paint transferring onto the concrete barrier there. Beautiful coverage of OZ3. Oh my God, right out to the line there with that transition. So beautifully done. So
that was
confident.
The best OZ4 I've seen all day.
Yeah. The transition on the outside of OZ3 into OZ4 right here, this zone right here, leads you into the rest of the track here. And coming all the way, you see these tire lines. You see him coming all the way out to the curb, which is exactly what the judges want to see you.
Oh, he came so deep out of OZ4, so that was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
31-31 for line and style. James Nealio not disappointing in round 4. With a total of 93 triple 31s for James Nealio in round 4, season 5 of FDE. Incredible score. I believe that's going to put him in second place. Maybe a tie for second. I think we had another 93 earlier in the day, but definitely a handful of 90s club drivers showing up here in round 4. We have on the line JDM Caliber, another familiar veteran driver here looking to tackle Power Park. Lots of contact, lots of parts being left on the track, but not phased at all. JDM Caliber is looking for that sweet transition outside of OZ4. He goes nice and close to the edge there and was able to pull the transition back in. That looked a little sketchy there for a second, but turned out beautifully. Looking like he's having a little bit of spins, a little bit of zoomies after his run with the excitement. Let's go ahead and get those top 10 scores back up to when I need to go back. I had forgotten about that. Apologies. Sometimes when your computer crashes, OBS undoes all of your changes and it just laughs in your face. And you have to redo everything you've done, and it's fun. So fun. 29 for style for JDM Caliber. Well done, absolutely. Looks like Judge 1, Judge 2 going to be looking at the replay on YouTube. Good to see everyone trickling back in. Look at that. A total of 88 for JDM Caliber. A happy score. Really just settling into the top 32. JDM Caliber with a 29, 30, and 29. See the current scores. Boom. There we go. We can actually see who is in the top 5. Looks like we're starting out with Crazy Yoda up there. And we'll have NXL Shadow on the line now with Casual Crew as well in the R32. Yeah, looks like we have a total of 4 90s plus scores there. Big e-brake initiation. Beautiful angle through that inner clipping zone. Now this transition has been a little bit sketchy today. We're going all the way to that outside curb. Beautifully done. Nice snappy transition into a little bit of oversteer. Perhaps the decision made there didn't like that OZ2, perhaps. He came in a little bit sharp, made some wall contact, and then left a little bit shallow. So maybe a strategic DNF there, or just a little bit too much oversteer on that last corner. Either way, we're just going to hold it here and head back on over to the starting section. Yeah, James Neely with a 93, Alfie with a 92. I see, okay. 91 for Baz. And Longcaster at 89. So far, 4 total scores of 90 plus. Love to see those runs. We have on our track now, it is Oryx. Nope, it is not. It is Preem. Another casual crew driver, and my personal favorite, the E92 M3. Beautiful car. Love seeing this thing go around the track. Even with the unfortunate wheel issue with the body. The wheel kind of glitches through the body on the rear right wheel fender, but what can you do? Forza is an imperfect playground, but at least we got it. Beautifully done on the exit of OZ4. I think drivers are starting to put the pieces together on exactly what the judges are looking for, and Preem just confidently and calmly going through the track with a beautiful run. You see all these little points. These drivers are paying attention. You know, we're not fighting for cash bonuses here, but these drivers are absolutely motivated to squeeze as many points they can out of their runs, taking notes on the rest of the day, making sure they look where the judges are going to be paying special attention. And I swear that outer zone 4 is going to be a point where a lot of drivers are trying to push it to get that extra point or two for their line scores. 30 for style, a 31 for angle, and a 31 for line. Another 90s club score for CCX Preem. Looking solid, our 5th 90 of the day. Great run, Preem. Coming up next is a Mark 5 with a nice message. Be the best version of you. I like that. You can see the license plate there. Love that. It is Zanzi. Now, I don't know. I'm like 99% sure Zanzi is the gold finalist for round 3. Am I crazy?
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be another treat, ladies and gentlemen. So take a close look. Veteran driver, a gold medalist of the season. This is Zanzi, round 4, Power Park. This looks like Baz. Is he gonna do? No, he does do the e-brake. Oh, and he slides into that so beautifully. Holy moly. Great angle coming through the inner clip. Full coverage, great speed through outer zone 3, outer zone 4, all the way to the outside, using just the body roll and the weight transfer to slow down into the last section. Textbook run from Zanzi. I'll eat my hat if that's not another 90. Definitely a stacked convoy here. 32 for style. That is what I like to see. Who knows what you have to do to get that last point, but I'll take a 32, and I'm sure Zanzi will as well. 32, 32, 32. 96 out of a potential 99 points for Zanzi.
That was a beautiful run.
At
so
moments
smooth, right where he needed to be.
Facts. throughout the entire track, just looking textbook. These are the moments that I wish we had like live replay and just enjoy, like blasting some music and just going through that run again. Beautiful to watch. I wish we could do that for every 90s score. That'd be pretty sweet if you ask me. But Zanzi, well done as always. Already establishing himself as that podium contender early on in this round, but we have to keep going forward. It is Unbe Kant's 665 on the track, ready to set his Power Park score. Settling into that corner, just a little bit too tight, fighting for angle here with the build. Looks like this M3 just might not have the balance and grip that this driver wish it did. Not letting it phase him too much. He's continuing through the track. Oh, that's going to be a DNF. It was on borderline chaseable there for the first part, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But obviously the driver knows that's going to be a DNF. But of course he has another chance. So maybe the nerves just getting to him and not able to put that throttle down enough to break loose and get angle in those zones. We'll hopefully see Unbe Kant come back and make it through the track for his second run. But moving forward, we have NXL Shadow. Now, I believe this is a DNF driver. Yes, it is. Okay, so this is going to be the start of our DNFs. These drivers have one last chance to make it through. Looks like that scores panel is having some issues. Let's see if we can fix that there. And it's broken. All right, moving on. NXL Shadow on the Power Park round 4. This is it. Tournament life on the line. Looking solid through. OZ2 a little bit shallow on the coverage, but in these situations you take what you can get. You just got to adapt on the fly and make the most of it. And NXL Shadow is doing just that. Fighting his way through the track with a chaseable run for sure. Now, how much the judges are going to scrape off for a little bit of a shallow entry here or a late exit there, we'll see. No tire drops, so definitely not too much to be shaved off there. But zone coverage and things like that outer zone 4 exit, how wide does your line get? All part of what the judges are going to be looking at. Looks like so far so good. 27-27 for style and line. Now that run could be putting Shadow into that high 70s mark, and he makes it into the 80s. 81 total for triple 27s. NXL Shadow going to be happy with that score. That is definitely a solid score to have looking forward to tomorrow's top 32. Anything in the 80s is usually a pretty safe place to be, unless it's I don't know, a particular map or a particular track or situation. Either way, Unbe Kant back on the line looking to set his score. Hopefully able to make it with the throttle down, maybe a little bit more balance. I'm not sure what he can do here, but let's see how he handles it. A little bit more speed into the zone, just not enough angle through the zone, just fighting these tires. A little bit too much grip, perhaps too much weight, I'm not sure, but the tune seems to be fighting the driver in this situation. But hats off to Unbe Kant for fighting the car throughout the entire track and getting to the finish line. Chaseable or not, it is a beautiful thing to see someone finish the track against all odds, against their own car's desire. The car didn't want to finish the track. But Unbai Khan said, yes, you are. It's a scoreable run. It's a chaseable run. Style 24. Getting a scoreable run in and of itself is an achievement. It's not easy. 19 for angle. You see, obviously outer zone 2, just fighting grip. This car has too much grip. And a line score of 22, so you can see Unbai Khan knows where to put the car, just can't get the angle or the stability to match. Total of 65, but a scored run is a good run. We'll hopefully see some more action after these messages. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, youtube.com/Forza Drift events to FDE Season 5, Round 4 here at Power Park in Finland. We have had 2 convoys of drivers set their qualifying scores. We have now 5 or 6 90s Club scores of the day with a beautiful run by Round 3 gold finalist. Zanzi with a 96 so far today, the highest score of the day. You really only got 3 more points to get, so how you get those extra 3 points, I don't know. But Zanzi setting the standards for the weekend so far. And of course, just a handful of, actually I think 3 or 4 double DNFs, so it is not an easy task to get through this track in one piece, let alone with that high 90s score. So hats off to all the drivers making it through. And to any of the double DNFs, of course, there's always next round. FDE Season 5 still has 2 more rounds. Plenty of time to get yourself on track and prepared. Of course, the holiday season can be kind of overwhelming with responsibilities and things. So, you know, maybe some of these drivers have a lot of practice time and others might not. So, depending on the time of the year, you might see yourself making an extra 10 points on the track just from pure time spent preparing. Either way, back to the track. We have another convoy of drivers ready to go. Up first, it is going to be Oryx 6 from CCX. We made clothes. Love that. It's been interesting seeing the donut community lately with some of their lead hosts going on over to different channels and whatnot. It's been interesting. But that's a side note. Of course, we have Oryx here putting up a beautiful run so far. Great transition into OZ4. Those rear tires skirting the curb. Great deceleration with that whip into the last zone. Beautifully done by Oryx.
Yeah, nice run.
God, I love seeing, I love seeing drivers who are so confident with the car's weight and where they want to put the car. It seems so natural when you have that really clear, mind-hand, mind-body connection. Some of these drivers on controllers, some of these drivers on wheels. But when it gets that smooth where they're able to just flick into a corner and decelerate like that, it's something to watch. It's beautiful. It's what we're here for. 31-31 for Oryx. Probably going to be in that 30s or above for the angle, and it is indeed a 92 for CCX Oryx. Beautifully done. Onward and upward, SoFlo Ray on the line in the RX-7 ready to go. Love this livery. Big e-brake initiation, sliding into it calmly, getting that extra angle to turn into the corner. Absolutely solid. A little bit of that classic controller wiggle, but very good control. Not really wiggling himself out of control. A little bit of a... Glad I didn't hit him. A little bit of a contact there with the outside of OZ6. Kind of
and when he did that, I'd say he just quit, so that way he didn't get a bad score.
He could have been, yeah.
That's what that kind of looked like. It's like he hit it and he's just like, nah, let's just call that one there.
Yeah, might have been an extra 2-3 points shaved off there, but looks like SoFlo Ray is going to go for a second time around once we get the DNF drivers back to the line. But right now, moving on, it is Bionic Bonghole. We all know Bionic. Veteran driver, usually competing for the top 8 in these beautiful liveries. Previously full lock. Is it still full lock? It is still full lock for Bionic Bonghole. All right. Bionic going around Power Park. Man, that car looks good. Beautiful zone. Perfect inner clip coverage. Ooh, settling into a lot of extra angle there, going into OZ4, baby dipping one tire off there, but really sending it here in the last part of the track with as much angle as he can throw at it. You can see the effort for that angle really starting in OZ3. That transition looked a little bit scary, but he was in control. Bionic Bunghole with a completed run through Power Park. .34 style. Could be another 90 here. 29 for line, so he needs a 31 for angle. Now, I don't know if the angle was there. It was just so close. An 89, just shaving so close to that 90s club score, but 89 is nothing to scoff at. Fantastic run from Bionic Bunghole. Onward, it is Dakeem, track creator, FDE staff. Great to have him, of course, on track as well. Here we go through Power Park. Dakeem, another top 16, top 8 driver. So smooth with it here. Another one of those body weight initiations. I love seeing those. Drivers who just have so much familiarity with their ride. They know how to throw the weight around exactly when they want to. A little bit of contact there on OZ3 earlier, but these transitions are beautiful. Ooh. And it looks like Dakeem is even saying that wasn't enough for him.
I almost wonder if that one just snapped on him too quick.
Could have been. Could have been. With him, how much control he had before, I don't know, but Dakeem with perhaps, maybe not a strategic DNF there. Either way, we'll see him back around for a second shot. Up next, it is EDM Skills, another driver joining us from the Envious Mafia, I believe is what they're called, right? Envious Drift Mafia, EDM? I could be wrong, I could be right. Apologies. Another awesome drifting community. EDM Skills going to come in with an STI. I have not seen a single Subaru in the I've seen the BRZ, but never an STI. This is going to be interesting. In the 209, interesting. Okay. EDM Skills on the line. Power Park. Interested in seeing how this car handles. Obviously an all-wheel drive platform going early into the wall there. All-wheel drive platform being converted into rear-wheel drive. I'll tell you, the 209 is a chonky-looking car. Looks like a brick sliding around the track, kind of like
the. Is huge.
Kind of like the Cadillacs a little bit, but the booty's even bigger. All right, well, hey, that's a completed run. Definitely a little bit of an issue early on with that entry. You could see just kind of fighting the car a little bit for angle throughout the track. Definitely wanting to maintain that angle, but just kind of gripping up repeatedly. But a scoreable run nonetheless. A 27 for style from Judge 3. I always love seeing those new cars, right? You hear Happy New Year, Shunsy. Happy New Year, Rob Jones. Happy New Year's, everyone. Of course, we took a pretty long break over the holiday season and the new year. Hopefully, all of you guys have a nice time. Whether you're spending it on your own, with friends, with family, with all of the above, maybe with just your pet fish or your dog. can always make the holidays a good time, no matter who you're with. Hopefully all of you guys had a great holiday and are looking forward to a new year, 2025. I know for myself, I'm turning 30, so for anyone who's turned 30 in the past, you know what I'm dealing with.
I actually just turned 30 last year. I'll be turning 31 this month.
Well, happy early birthday. What's 30s like, Addict Actual? Is it as bad as they say it is?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. I don't know if I could turn the ship around at this point, honestly.
I mean, it is what you make of it, bro. Really.
Are the backaches and neck pain? It's all of the above.
Yeah.
It all starts.
Yeah, you do start
in.
feeling like you're getting older.
Damn. I got 3
all
months
those
left.
things you did when you was younger really start to catch up with you.
Yeah. An 18 for angle. You see EDM skills, and an 18 for line. So just fighting the angle throughout the entire track. Unfortunately, not able to put the car where they wanted. It's going to be a total of 63 for EDM skills. I do not doubt we'll see him back on the track in the future, maybe for round 5. We'll see that Subaru back with a new tune. But yeah, I got a couple more months left of being 20-something, even if it's 29. So I'm going to enjoy these last few months.
You said I'm still in my 20s.
I'm still in my 20s, okay? All right, it is I'm Braden on the line with the team MD. I'm not exactly sure. MD is a new development in the community. Might be Midnight Drifters. I'm not sure. Either way, Braden on the line with Mustang. Let's see what he's got. Smooth entry. Great looks. A little bit too shallow on the entry into the inner clip, but changed it up. It looks like the corrections are a little bit slow to come. He has lots of angle, but just really kind of seeming like he can't make the snappiest of corrections. Looks like might be once he's settled into the angle, he kind of gotta depend on his line to carry him through. Momentum-based kind of drifting look there. But either way, a completed run. Couple of wall hits that sent him straight in different areas, but he was able to maintain control and send it through the whole track. EDM skills. The sweet. They have great branding. Beautiful branding, if I may say so. Mental drifting. Okay, I like that. That's sick. 2025. Yeah. I know myself, it's always trying to hold on to people that care about you and that you care about yourself. So holding on to good people is the name of the game for me in 2025. Oh yeah, the weather conditions, I'm sure, taking people out right now. But we have Braden's score on the screen: 25 for angle, 28 for style. The line score still coming in with a total of 77 for I'm Braden. So again, just on the cusp there. I'm interested in seeing if it'll land him in the top 32 tomorrow or not. But of course, the top 32 bracket will be shown at the end of the live stream, so we'll have that for you guys later. On the track now, JDM Hawaiian Drift King. And the S15, I like it. Not a lot of S15s lately, which is kind of a good thing, because this car is pretty wild. It's very fun to drive. It's usually a favorite, a crowd favorite, driver favorite.
It's my dream car.
Oh, yeah. I think the S15 might be a dream car for almost everyone who understands anything about cars. So I like one of the cornerstones of Japanese sports car. Going through the track, again, just a little bit of wall taps here and there, but otherwise a pretty clean run. JDM Hawaiian DK. Those wall slaps going to be costing the angle score, the line score, and potentially the style score as well, but particularly the angle and the line. When you're hitting walls that much and you're not able to have enough grip to withstand that impact, you know, this is kind of it's something that has to do with the environment that we're in. It's a virtual environment, and the game doesn't always treat every equal impact equally. So, you know, you could end up hitting a wall at the wrong angle and it just completely stops your car. That's the digital realm that we're playing in. But I feel like sometimes you can get away with more impact if you have more grip. If your car's really sliding around, when those impacts get you, even if you're in a head-to-head battle and you end up making contact with the other driver, when you have a really grippy build, you're going to be able to withstand that a little bit better and have it not throw you off of your angle so much. DK is just my initials. Oh, okay, I thought it was Drift King. 30, 24, and
Maybe that's his real name.
yeah, maybe that is first name Drift, last name King. 81 total for Hawaiian DK, 30, 24, and 27. So new to the line, just battling for angle. Those wall slaps taking that score down quite a bit, but still happily into the 80s. 81 is going to be a happy score, so not too bad at all. Play Pro coming up next. Play Pro, of course, part of the FDE staff, part of the media team with the FDE, and a pretty nasty driver as well. Let's see what he's got for round 4, season 5. Ooh, very clean. A little bit of a correction there to get to that inside clip, but very smooth nonetheless. Solid coverage. A little bit of a late transition here, maybe trying to reach that outer rim. Beautiful transition. A little bit of contact there, but holding strong through the finish line. Play Pro with a solid run through the track. Could easily be another 90 score. I feel like I don't know.
He has little mistakes here and there, but I mean, it's a really nice lead.
Yeah, this track really depends on how much you're able to control. I mean, I suppose that's every track. It just comes down to grip. Can you put the car where you want it to be? Can you find the grip that you need? Are you familiar of where you have to put the throttle, where you have to put the steering to maximize that grip? Play Pro did a great job pulling himself in and out of these zones.
With the walls, it also requires a lot of commitment. Some of this, it's difficult to see, so you just got to commit to knowing where it's at.
That zone goes right up to these barriers, so there's not much space, but Play Pro did beautifully with an 87 to round off his qualifying day. Great score. And up next, it's going to be T Masters, another familiar face around this community.
I love the paint on that course.
We'll take a look at it as it goes through the track. Simply Doors livery on the Mustang.
It's just so clean.
Oh my God, that angle is insane. So smooth through here, so much control, beautiful transition. Another transition, got to lose speed here, and he manages to lose it through the finish line. A strong run from T Masters. Wow, that OZ2 was so smooth, so beautiful.
Well, the whole run was smooth.
Yeah. Really not many corrections. It looks like, you know, starting from the initiation, before and after the transitions, able to put the car into the angle that he wants and smoothly glide, flowing through the track. Looks like we have a score of 33 out of 33 for style for Team Masters in round 4 of season 5, coming up with a 32 for line. We're talking near or at perfection. Team Masters with Simply Doors just dominating the track. Of course, angle score still to come in. This could be the number 1 score of the day, and we already have a 96 from Zanzi. Could this tie or surpass a 96? I did not think it. I didn't even cross my mind that a 96 could be surpassed today, but Team Masters throwing down absolute heat. I'm staring. I can't take my eyes off of it. What's the angle score going to be? A 33. It's a 98! That might be one of the highest scores I have seen in my 2 seasons with FDE. A score of 98 here in round 4, season 5 for Simply Doors T Masters. Absolutely beautiful run. So
just to go ahead and
smooth.
clarify why he didn't get a perfect for line.
Okay.
On the inner clip, he was on the first hash mark, and he could have been a little bit closer.
Okay. So
Other than that, that was beautiful. That was perfect. It was smooth. I mean, that was an amazing run.
So just when you're chasing perfection, it's got to be perfect. A little bit of an error on one of the inner clips, but nonetheless a score of 98 out of 99. It almost does not get better than that. An incredible run. Can't say enough. I'm glad this is recorded on YouTube, so you guys can go back and clip that, because that deserves to be clipped. All the 90s from today, but especially a score so close to perfect. Beautifully done. It's what we're here for. Amazing. Very rare to see a perfect score, let alone in 2 out of the 3 categories. Beautifully done. It's going to be hard. I mean, even at this point, a 90 is going to look a little stinky compared to that 98. But I'm sure Pulse has the treat for us here. It is CCX Pulse back on the line. Great to see you again. And here we go around the track. Power Park. Settling himself into OZ2. Now looking for that inner clip. Beautifully done. Getting a little bit extra angle to get that OZ3 coverage, OZ4 coverage. A little bit of a tire dip right there. Having a little bit of a slow transition, but sweet looking nonetheless. Solid run. CCX Pulse, wow. I noticed even in OZ2 that run was different. Even early on, I looked at the angle, amount of angle, and just smooth. It wasn't extra angle being thrown in for the transition. It just was so accurately placed on the entire track. I would love to see that again. Hopefully in the Discord or maybe on the website, ForzaDriftEvents.com. Of course, you can find the link to the Discord on the website and all of the rule books and the season guidelines, everything you need to compete, get involved, or just be a fan. Kind of like me. If I wasn't on the caster's desk, I'd just be a fan. But 29, 29, 29, triple 29s for CCX Pulse. It's going to be a total of 87. A solid score. It's exactly where you want to be, right in that above the middle of 80s. You're going to be kind of guaranteed a spot into tomorrow's top 32, as that cutoff line usually finds itself in the low 80s to high 70s. But we do have some second chance DNF drivers on the line still. It is SoFlo Ray with the second chance. I can't remember exactly how the first one went, but I'm sure they can put up a completed run here. I have seen this driver before, and I know they got what it takes. Now, I do remember the controller wiggle, but in you know, the grand scheme of things, it's not as egregious as other controller players can get. Sometimes you see these controller players with their car, I don't know if it's a mixture of lag and flick, I don't know, but sometimes I swear it's like they're like driving laterally as they go forward. It's crazy. But Ray, comparatively pretty damn smooth. Now, where you can really tell the wiggle causes issues for probably both drivers is in the head-to-head battles. When you have the lead or chase driver having that lateral movement in mid-drift, it can be kind of daunting to get onto their door. Now, yeah, in this environment, though, solid line, solid style. So Flow Ray with a 31 for line, 28 for style. How many more people left to go? I believe we have one more convoy after this. An 88 for SoFlo Ray. Beautifully done. Holy cow. Yeah, those high 80 scores are going to be very happy. You can kind of sit back and take a breath. Whereas if you're on that low 80s or high 70s, you might still be holding your breath a little bit. But we have Dakeem on the line with his second chance. Ready to go. I believe the initial run for Dakeem did go pretty well. It seemed like it was a last-second decision to go for a... sorry about the sandbag in there a little bit. But last-second decision to go for a DNF. A little bit more contact here. We'll see if this transition can go smoothly. Damn, that's what you don't want to see in these do or die situations. He came up onto that last OZ5 just a little bit too sharp. It's a bad line into OZ6. That barrier comes up and meets you into OZ6. It's very difficult to correct your line if you can't get it right through OZ5. Unfortunately, a double DNF from a veteran driver just goes to show you anything can happen to any drivers, whether you're experienced or inexperienced. It happens. Unfortunately,
so
double there.
I was gonna say, in my laps that I have done here, which I haven't done a whole lot, that was a spot that I struggled with for a while.
Yeah, OZ5 and OZ6.
All down through there, that transition, the cars sometimes, the suspension would want to snap so quick, it's just hard to save it. Yeah, it's tough. And of course, it always depends on your tune, right? You know, different drivers, different tunes that you might be able to make that correction. Other drivers might not be able to, just based on their suspension setup. But anyways, we do have another convoy ready to get on track. We'll be back in just a few minutes with more Round 4, Season 5 of Forza Drift events.
Welcome back once again. Forza Drift Events Season 5, Round 4 at Power Park. We have seen 3 convoys come and go, an incredible height of 98 out of 99 potential points for T. Mastas. Incredible run from him, being chased very closely by a 96 from Zanzi. I believe around 7 or 8 90s club runs so far, maybe more. So some incredible skill being displayed so far today. An unfortunate handful of DNFs, but some more action yet to come. We have another convoy loading into the track as we speak. Thank you guys all for joining us, of course, on youtube.com/Forza Drift Events. If you guys want to find out more information about the community or join the community yourself, go over to ForzaDriftEvents.com, join in on the Discord, get some information on the rulebook. Maybe you find yourself on track in round 5. Of course, we are just loading in. Hopefully nothing crashes. This is the point in which my computer unfortunately crashed just a few commercial breaks ago, but knock on wood, so far so good. So how are you guys doing on YouTube? I see Zanzi, Hannah, Shadow, Basand, Callum, Ryan. Great to see everyone. Thank you guys for joining us. Of course, today just, it's only qualifiers. Qualifiers are pretty exciting, but I think a lot of people do enjoy the head-to-head action. Definitely looking forward to seeing. I mean, I want to see T-Masters tomorrow. T-Masters look like he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I'm excited to see his head-to-head battles. We'll see where he seeds. Right now, he's obviously seed number 1. And what that does is it gives you a little bit easier of a time with the beginning of the bracket. If you understand how bracket play works, the first seed is put up against the 32nd seed, so the last seed. And second goes against the 31st, third goes against the 30th, so on and so forth until you get down to the 15th and 16th, which go against each other. So that's how the brackets are made. So we'll probably see T-Masters and Zanzi and all the other 90s score, let's be honest. Drivers probably make it into the top 16 pretty easily, but when you get into that top 16, that's when you get these high-seeded drivers driving against one another. Those top 16 battles are going to be intense. I already feel it. Let's go ahead and take another quick peek at the track showcase just to keep you guys fresh on exactly what the judges are going to be looking for. Now, we've seen some really beautiful initiations today, just purely on body weight transfer and not e-brakes. Baz, Zanzi have that kind of style. I believe even T-Masters kind of had a little bit of that kind of style too. You see other drivers, of course, it's not really something that you can judge, just more of a style preference, just more of a habit. But of course, this whole section here proving to be challenging, not just for making sure you're getting full coverage of the zones, but also your line. The line through outer zone 4 into outer zone 5 is really crucial to get right. That wall for OZ6 comes in quickly, and if you're not on the right line, you are going to slam the wall or oversteer. So speed management as important as ever, but we have our drivers on the line ready to go. I believe this is one of our last convoys here, but we have Apollo Creed up first with Mental Drifting. Big e-brake, a little bit of a correction there. Get too close. Very snappy with the transitions. Very confident that he's going to be able to catch the car as it's sliding into position. Solid run from Apollo. Another familiar face we've seen around these parts plenty of times. First reappearance since Season 2. You were a Season 2 competitor. Well, I've been here since the beginning of Season 4. So, hey, I'm a little bit of a newbie, but at this point, been here 2 years, and I've loved every second of it, honestly. It's an incredible community. Honestly, the game, I don't know if the game deserves great communities like this at the moment. I think we as a community and all the other communities in Forza deserve more than we've got. And I admire that about this community of gamers and car enthusiasts, but not to get too choked up. We have 30, 27, and 27 for Apollo Creed with a score of 84. And that is going to be right in the pocket of where you can expect the cutoff to be. Of course, I'm excited to see where that number is exactly going to be, but 84 should be on the other side of it. So well done for Apollo Creed. Up next, we got Dead Riser. Dead Riser, I believe.
Beautiful BMW.
Oh, I love it. Love the color. Dead Riser having a few fans in the chat. waiting on his appearance, and here we go. It is Dead Riser himself with Mental Drifting on Power Park. I believe the chassis for these M Sport is this M4 is M3. It's the F85. Am I right? Wrong?
I don't know, BMWs like that.
Yeah. Oh, inner clip 1 unfortunately missed. There is still time for a strategic DNF. Very smooth drifting here. It might be on a wheel. A little bit of a late transition here. I think he's losing a little bit too much speed. Actually, no, beautifully done. Just a little bit too much contact with the wall. 2 mistakes there, both involving a barrier, sending the car straight. Gonna lose some points for those, but otherwise, a really, really nice looking drift. Might not be chaseable. DNF'd on not being chaseable. So unfortunately, the driver just having the car straight at those different moments is gonna force them to come back around the track. Hopefully a little bit of a warm-up there will allow the driver to come back swinging. Up next, another personal one of my favorite drivers is gonna be Daddy Dilds on a new account, Dilds Drifts. Interesting. Daddy Dilds, longtime driver, veteran driver, top 8 competitor for sure, usually fighting for podium. I'm excited to see this. It should be another high 80s, if not low 90s score. Could always come out with heat like Team Masters and find himself with a 98. Tall order, tall task, but there's always potential with drivers like this. Starting off beautifully, lots of angle, lots of control. You can see the preparation. And just, oh, it's so peaceful. It's so peaceful when you see talented drivers like this go through the track, when you see these 90s club drivers. Of course, style always plays a role, but it's just like flying through the track just so smoothly, and it almost looks effortless. I feel like that's a common trend with any sport. Is the best of the best make it look so effortless. Really is something to watch. Daddy Dilds, incredible score. I'm sure coming for him. $30 for line, 31 for style. So we're not going to hit that 38 or that, excuse me, that 98 points. But this could be well into the 90s, and it is a 93 for Daddy Dilds. Could have say I saw that coming. Great to see you.
It was a nice run. It was definitely a nice run.
Yeah. I love seeing those smooth drivers. You can tell they put in the time, they have the experience, and they just glide through the track like a hot knife through butter. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Up next, Issa Knight, 69. Nice. From
Issa
CCX. Ooh, that initiation is going to be upsetting, but here comes an expression of skill. Now, can he? No, he will not. He could have, but he won't. Issa Knight saying, hey, I don't need to go through the rest of the track. I'm just going to go ahead and go for a DNF right then. A little bit of a mistake with the initiation, not enough grip to pull himself into the corner, and that's going to be a DNF run. Of course, there's another chance, but if, you can always continue after a mistake like that, even if it is a DNF mistake. You could always go through the rest of the track and kind of, warm up a little bit, if you will. I personally, if I were competing, that's what I would do. But
I can see why some don't, though, because you get muscle memory, like especially if you're on a wheel.
So a bad run, you should just kill it.
Yeah, a bad run, you don't want the bad muscle memory.
Yeah, especially if you're under wheel, I could see that contributing. Yeah, interesting. As someone who's never competed, there you go. Something I didn't even consider. Up next, we have It's Eco. Looks like It's Eco is a teamless driver. Let's see what they've got in the C something. Here we go. I always mix this up for the C6 and C7 because I don't know Corvettes that well, but hey.
I don't know Corvettes either.
Bit of a trippy livery. I like it. You see it kind of like SoFlo Ray, where you have a little bit of that controller wiggle. But it looks like just like SoFlo Ray, this driver is able to maintain their position on the track pretty well. Very solid control for a controller driver who is not utilizing the rolling technique. They're utilizing that flicking technique. You know, comes down really to preference. Some drivers will put in the time to learn that rolling technique just to look a little bit smoother, but absolutely skill expression there nonetheless. 30 for line, 28 for style. Looks like the judges agree It's Eco might be on the controller, but can still throw down. Looking at a high 80 score here. C6 lights are circular. Okay. Yeah. So it was like before the rear end redesign. There we go. 86, 28, 28, 30 for It's Eco. A solid run. This 86 is breath of fresh air if you're a competitor for sure. Well done.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, I know this car, I know this driver, Kid Seif, back on the line with a team called DGen. Interesting. Kid Seif, another top 32, top 16, I believe made it in the top 8 probably a couple times here in FDE. Back with round 4, season 5. Our part. Light contact in OZ2. Choking up on the angle and trying getting back into the inside of the track for that inner clip. A little bit of a early exit from OZ3 to make a good transition into OZ4 and the last transition into OZ5 and 6 on a good line. A little bit of contact with the barrier, but nothing too bad. A solid run from Kid Seif. Well done. You thought it was just one horn? Oh, it's all good. You're really, yeah. It's always three. It's always gonna be 3 horns. I rarely mess up the horns, but if I do, I'll always restart them if it's kind of weird or if there's too much space in between them. But I'll always try to make it fair, and especially when it comes down to head-to-heads, you got to make sure the horn is consistent because you want that starting time to be really consistent as well. You know. That was a good run, man. Well done. And that's coming from a Brit. Man, you must be a proper petrol head then. I'm a fucking petrol head. 29-28 for Judge 1, Judge 2, line and style. Another 80 score, 84 for Kid Seif. With how many scores of just around the low to mid 80s we're getting, it's starting to make me worry about those scores of 70. Though we might see a cutoff point in the 80s with how many scores we're getting up there. Well done, Kid Seif. Up next is Mick Squeezy. Mick Squeezy with money something, some team I'm not familiar with, but welcome in Mick Squeezy, not a name I'm familiar with either, but let's see what they've got in the Savannah RX-7 on the track. Ooh, that initiation is going to be a little bit late. I don't know if he's sideways enough to get through that initiation, but through OZ2 and inner clip 1, we are OZ3 with a little bit of a early exit, not too shabby. You can see this driver just fighting for angle. The tires are smoking, but it's just a little bit too straight. That might not be chaseable. If it is, that angle score might suffer. Another controller player trying to make their mark in FDE. You can see the time and preparation was there. They know the line. The transition timing was solid. But a common theme today has just been drivers not able to find the sweet spot in their tune. Sometimes with just a little bit too much grip. You can see McSqueezy here with a DNF. It's a little bit too much grip, fighting for angle too much, too frequently throughout the track. And it's going to be a DNF. But we'll have another chance to come back around after the rest of the convoy. We have up next, it's going to be MX5 Josh. Now, I hope they're actually in an MX5. Good to see you, Irish. Welcome in. Those nerves are fun. That's adrenaline, man. That's what you compete for, right? Got to be a little kind of an adrenaline addict. Oh, it is not who we had. It is someone else. It's Slides for Days. Slides for Days. All right. Here we go. Slides for Days on the track. New name, new face. In a C7. Here we go. Monster livery. Big initiation. Lots of angle early on. Sliding ever so into OZ2. Great coverage of inner clip 1. You can see there a controller player. Ooh, that's a lot of angle. Man, he committed to that angle right before the transition. Sometimes you see drivers. Sometimes you see drivers like almost add more angle before a transition. It's kind of odd. It's like they're trying to like Scandi flick while they already have angle. It's kind of interesting. I'm not sure what exactly went wrong there, but I'm sure they'll appreciate the second go around, which I think might be here and now. I recognize this BMW we're pulling up to the line with. It's Dead Riser once again. So Dead Riser, another driver who had the angle in line, but just couldn't get enough of a snappy transition to make that OZ4. But oh, they disappeared. I think they clicked Y. And they're back.
Wrong button. That's race gear.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you don't want another horn, you can go for it. Oh, this is going to be messed up. That should be... Lord,
yeah.
My soul.
Restart that.
Yeah, I'm going to restart. I'm not even going to look at that. Don't look at it! You didn't do nothing. Come back to the start. You gotta... That's going to mess up your muscle memory. Your initiation is going to be awkward when it's like that stop and go. You're like already down the runway here, and you're stop and going. That's not fair. Let's bring... Accidentally clicked rewind. We've all done that before. We've also had the situations where you should have clicked rewind and you didn't, and then you lag out.
Or we've had people that click rewind in the middle of a run.
Yeah, and then they get stuck in like the double rewind glitch. Oh, we love Forza, don't we, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. 3 horns and we go. There we go. And let's start. Here we go. Now see, it looks so clean and so promising for OZ2. The transition's a little bit late, struggling to maintain the angle with this amount of grip that he has. Maybe a little bit less body weight. You got this. You got this. Finish it off. Finish it off. Through OZ5, through OZ6, and he does indeed finish the track. That's what I want to see. Definitely some problems with OZ3 not being able to get as much angle as they probably hoped for, and as much as we've seen on other parts of the track. But a completed run, fighting through errors, and I've said this before and I'll say it again until the end of time. Being able to recover from a mistake is part of skill expression. You gotta learn if something goes wrong. You gotta have the muscle memory not just to know how to do it the right way, but to how to recover from when you do it the wrong way, right? Small mistakes can have quick remedies. We have a 27 for line and a 28 for style. Dead Riser looking to find himself in the 80s realm of scores, depending on Judge 2 for angle, and is at 82 total for Dead Riser. A solid run. Probably counting his lucky stars. Probably looking forward to making a couple of tune adjustments for round 5. But so far, so good. That might be just enough to find himself in the top 32. Up next, we have a Toyota Sora. I'm glad to see the Toyota Sora here. Issa Knight back on the line, ready for his second go-round. Power Park. See that left foot brake? That's a lot of angle. Fight it, fight it, fight it. That might not be chaseable, but we're going to keep going because, damn it, we got here, we showed up. The least we can do is finish out the run. Beautifully done in the last part of the track. An unfortunate start of the run with a bad initiation and an awkward angle into OZ2. Spelled a little bit of a disaster early on. We'll see what the judges think of that one, but dang, that one just slipped away. What were you saying, by the way? Was something happened? Addict Actual?
We got drivers stuck in rewind.
Oh, I see that. Okay. Fortunately, we have some issues with the game. Forza Horizon 5 has trapped some of our drivers in the rewind feature, which is unfortunate. We'll see if Issa Knight does get a scored run here. I'm not sure I can see enough. Obviously, the judges are deliberating there. Always a fun day with Forza. Never really goes the way you expect it, but the game is old enough now. We all we understand what happens. DNF'd. Unfortunately, Issa Knight, round 4, season 5 is over for you. Really solid attempt. Really unfortunate because, man, after OZ3, it looked so solid, but that OZ2 just couldn't score it, couldn't chase it. So, anyways, moving on. McSqueezy up next, another DNF driver coming for their second chance. It is McSqueezy. All right, let's go. Big contact early on, pushing him outside of OZ2. Just a little bit too straight. Fight for it though, my man. Get through the track one way or another, even if it's in pieces. Unfortunately, yeah, I think McSqueezy knows he's got to go back to the drawing board on that one. The tune is just too much to handle, or maybe too little, and that's going to be a double DNF. Reversing into the sunset, McSqueezy bids us farewell. Definitely a good attempt. I always give drivers the benefit of the doubt. If the car doesn't comply with your inputs, you can be the best driver in the world and still double DNF, still make those mistakes. So unfortunate for McSqueezy. I think we have another driver coming up next though. Slides 4 days. Glad we were able to get these drivers out of Forza prison. Let's see what Slides has for us. Lots of grip, lots of kind of an aggressive style with this guy, but I kind of like it as long as they're able to maintain the angle. Unfortunately, just really good angle throughout OZ2, but as soon as you go to transition, didn't respond to the input. You could see he tried turning the car, he tried flipping the weight, just not his day. And then perhaps some more tuning adjustments to be made, but another double DNF. This track, and I said it earlier, the really experienced drivers who have put a lot of time in preparing for round 4 after a really long break mid-season. They make this look so effortless, so easy. And as we all know, it really is not. Getting on track and putting up a good score in this environment is very difficult. But thank you guys for showing up and doing your best, putting in time for the liveries and the tunes. Of course, I don't think we're over just yet. We do have another convoy after this, I believe. Let me make sure I'm not going to miss anyone. Nope, it's MX5 Josh. Perhaps MX5 Josh is stuck in rewind. Driver is stuck in rewind, so we're just going to sit here and chat for a minute. Hopefully not AFK. So, in fact, in order for me not to AFK, I actually have to hit the rewind button myself. That way it doesn't kick me out for going AFK. But how are you guys doing on YouTube? Dead Riser did pretty damn well. I was happy to see that. Oh, I think we're here. All right. MX5 Josh. Is that MX5 Josh? I guess it is. Here we go. MX5 Josh. For some, I think this is his first run, so technically I think he has 2 chances here. We'll see. Because I don't recognize this car.
You don't either.
It's kind of sick.
It is.
Leaving his rear wing on the track. Sliding gently into OZ3, OZ4. Lots of control. You can see another stick driver, perhaps a combination of flicking and rolling, but definitely a controller player with some pretty smooth drifts there. Very good looks from a stick flicking driver. That almost sounds like a bad name, but it's not. It's not. It's just the way that you use the controller. I don't know if anyone remembers back in the day. There's always classic controller holding techniques. One of them, most famous, is called the claw style, where you put your ring finger or middle finger onto the triggers of your controller rather than your index fingers. So it's just another name for a way that you do your thing. Looks like it paid off for MX5 Josh. 29 for line, 28 for style. We're looking pretty solid. 86 total for MX5 Josh. You don't even need a second chance around the track with that kind of score. Very well done. And now I believe that rounds off this convoy. So coming up next, we have a fresh crop of drivers. And
I think that's it.
I'm lying. That's actually it. That's the qualifying day.
Working on the bracket right now.
Is the bracket ready for us? I believe it's gonna be
right now.
It's gonna be a live update, right? Okay, here we go. Okay, let's go. So the number 1 driver, as I'm sure anyone who's been watching throughout the day will remember, the incredible run of 98, near perfection from Team Asta's here in Power Park. Some drivers, you just get the divine combo of tune, track, and driver, and you get a 98 like that. It really does take something special from the driver to put up a score like that. But it looks like Team Asta's makes it into the first seed, the 30th seed, EDM Skills. And I believe EDM Skills actually had a score of 78. So if EDM Skills had a score of 78 and he's the 30th seed, we could see a score of 77 or 76 in the 31st and 32nd seeds. So we'll continue to see with that. Zanzi, of course, another incredible run, near perfection from Zanzi today, with a score of 96, finding himself somehow in the second seed. Did not think that would happen, but Team Asta's just the stars aligned. Wasn't doubting. I mean, it didn't take the stars aligning. T-Masters is just fun. He's just sick with it, all right? We just gotta give him props where they're due. But Crazy Yoda following closely behind, I believe, with a 94. And like the second run of the day, Crazy Yoda with that third seed. 29th seed is going to be Umbe Kant. Umbe Kant. He's definitely going to have to maybe, I don't know, as long as it's all within the rule book, and I'm not exactly, I'm not too up to snuff on how much you can change legally within competition rules. But Umbe Kant might want to go look at those rules and see exactly how much he can change on his tune to try and get a little bit more control and a little bit more slip out of his build. The 28th seed is going to be Mello. The 4th seed, another 90s club driver, James Nealio. Confident, well-known driver. I'm Braden, a new face I haven't seen recently. Of course, drivers from season 1 through 3 can always come back. Might be older heads in the community than myself. But yeah, Braden with the 27th seed. Daddy Dilds, another 90s club driver, sitting at the 5th seed on your bottom left. Oh my god, yeah. Trying to use an e-brake. If you're on a wheel and your e-brake is a button on your wheel, hats off to you. I would just not e-brake. Looks like we have It's Not Black Viper in the 26th seed. And CCX Preem in the 6th seed, another 90s and above driver today. Oh, I'm sure you can always come back in round 5 and round 6 there, Ryan Reed. Always time to come back and retune, revisit the test track and put some more time in the seat. And of course, there's plenty of communities around FDE that are practicing every week. There are sessions for practice. So if you want to check out the FDE Discord, you want to check out the CCX Discord, I'm sure there are other Discords you can frequent where people are going to be practicing for round 5 and round 6. Go catch up with them. Maybe you can set up your schedule and have a good session and learn some stuff, get some advice on tunes. I know when I was first building my, I have never competed in it, but I do have a vehicle ready to compete. It's a E92 M3, and I actually got some great advice from CCX Baz, one of the best drivers in the community, and it really helped me out. These guys know what they're talking about when it comes to tuning in this game, and it's not just, approaching it from a real life perspective where you expect it all to be transferred one-to-one. The physics are going to be the same, right? It's real life. It works in real life. It doesn't work like that. This is absolutely still an arcade game, and there are some things you can do to find your happy place with your tune and your build, and those veteran drivers know how to get you there. So be involved with the community. Of course, you can start off with ForzaDriftEvents.com and find your way into the community through the website and the Discord links on the site. But I have lots of drivers to call out now. We have in the 8th seed, it is Elfe coming in, I believe, another 90s driver. 9th seed is IX Baz with a 91. JDM Hawaiian DK in the 24th seed, and NXL Shadow in the 25th. Daddy Dilds in the 5th seed. We've had, what is that, 9? That's 9 90s club scores today. Very solid run of 90s. Oryx 6, excuse me, I believe also had a 90. It was in the 7th seed. I know Baz did, and he's in the 9th seed, so that makes sense. Longcaster is the 10th seed. I know he got an 89, so we had a total of 9 90s today. Very solid showing from our elite drivers. Dead Riser making it into the top 32 with a 23rd seed placement. Well done. We have Awesome Pie at the 22nd seed as well, and Bionic Bunghole on the 11th seed. All shaping up to be pretty good, although, let's see, what are those middle of the road head-to-heads where you see like the 15th and 16th? Here we go. Top left, that one, the 16th and 17th seed is still empty. 15 and 18th seed is still empty. Those are going to be really interesting battles. It means that those drivers scored very closely in their qualifying runs, and those ones, you know, you get those one more times a lot, and it can be a long haul to get even into the top 16. You see here SoFlo Ray and Kid Scythe. That's going to be an awesome head-to-head right there. Apollo Creed at the 20th seed. Karma Mark 4. You're going to be the 19th seed going against the 14th seed on the bottom right of your screen. Now T-Masters and Zanzi, being the first and second seed, might have a little bit of a easier time. Of course, anything can happen. But that's kind of one of the benefits of placing so high in the qualifying scores, is you're at the first seed, baby. All you gotta do is knock out the 32nd seed and you're on the top 16. Daddy Jones Mello. Let's see here. We have Prez JFK Sr. at the 18th seed on the top right. And let's see, Pulse. So it's going to be CCX Pulse in the 14th seed taking on Karma Mark IV. We have just a few more names, 4 names to be exact. These are the 4 names. So it's going to be Play Pro versus Prez JFK Sr. So Play Pro in that I believe it was a GT86, or the GT86, Prez JFK Sr. in the R32. So that should be a really sweet head-to-head. MX5 Josh taking on its Eco. That's also going to be an interesting head-to-head. Of course, those drivers at the 15th, 18th seed, Eco and Josh at the 16th and 17th seed. So getting very similar run scores today during qualifying. We'll see how their head-to-head battles come in tomorrow. It looks like for T-Masters and Masters and Zanzi, they're getting, is it a buy run? Am I understanding that correctly? It was like a hyphen? Let me ask some questions. Do you know what that means, Addict?
I was going to say it might be, because maybe we didn't have enough drivers put in a qualifying run.
It's a buy run. Okay. Hey now. This is interesting. This hasn't happened. This might actually be the first time this has happened since I've been with FDE. We had plenty of drivers qualify or join us for qualifying, but Power Park did a number on quite a few drivers. Double DNFs for, I think, around 5 to 6 drivers. Looks like 6 to 7 double DNF drivers. So unfortunately, we had, what is that? 30, we had like 38 drivers, but when 6 of them don't qualify, we end up having buy runs. It's very interesting. So it just goes to show, if you complete a run, it might be good enough just to get you into the top 32, because those double DNFs can come out of nowhere. So for anyone that is looking for a spot in the top 32 in the future, getting a score of even 70s down, even if you get a 70 or a 69, nice, you can actually get yourself into the top 32 if other drivers are double DNFing. So hey, get ready for round 5. Round 4, of course, is not over yet. Today was just a day of qualifying runs, and we'll be back with this top 32 bracket tomorrow, Sunday, January 5th, for more Round 4, Season 5, Forza Drift Events action. Thank you guys for joining us on youtube.com/Forza Drift Events. We really appreciate you guys hanging out. It was great seeing you guys all back again. Happy holidays, happy late holidays, and happy New Year to everyone. We appreciate you guys coming back and joining us for round 4 after such a long hiatus. All the drivers for putting in time to prepare. I'm sure some drivers might have had more than others, but we appreciate you guys showing up and putting down your incredible display of skill for all of us here. We appreciate it. Absolute pleasure, Zanzi. It is a pleasure to be here and enjoy this community with everyone. You guys have a great rest of your afternoons and evenings. We'll be back again tomorrow afternoon, same time, same place for the head-to-head 32 bracket. ForzaDriftEvents.com.